monde en deuil. Louis-Marie Djambou, promoteur de l'Institut universitaire du Golfe de Guinée, est mort. Good afternoon, Regina.
Bon après-midi, Rebel Charlotte. Thank you for joining us in this edition of the news. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Government promises tough times for separatist fighters responsible for the attack in the Momo division of the Northwest region that left at least 5 persons dead, including 4 soldiers and 1 civilian. In a communique made public yesterday, government spokesperson Rene Emmanuel Sadi decried the killing and said an investigation has been opened to track down the perpetrators. Plus,
le marché de Méganga réduit en cendres, de nombreuses boutiques emportées. Le mobile de l'incendie reste introuvable. À Bafia, les commerçants et autorités municipales à couteau tiré. Le marché central méconnaissable. Malgré le site de recasement, les commerçants posent l'épineux problème de taxes et impôts.
And the promised new machines for the Bamenda Hemodialysis Center have arrived Bamenda Northwest region of Cameroon. The machines arrived from Yaoundé yesterday, and among the anxious persons were some of the kidney patients, while those who left for other centers have been invited to come back home. And we shall equally be taking you out of the country. It is game over for Donald Trump as the United States Congress has certified President-elect
Bon après-midi, mesdames et messieurs. Ouvrons ce journal de la mi-journée sur Canal International avec l'Adamawa, un pan du marché de Méganga réduit en cendres ce matin après un incendie. Le feu a débuté autour de 23 h la veille et a emporté de nombreuses boutiques. Pas de mobile pour l'heure qui puisse justifier l'énorme dégâts. Les détails avec Eringeli.
Il a tout perdu. Dikawa ne peut rien récupérer. L'incendie a ravagé l'essentiel des équipements et matériels qui ont fait tourner pendant des années son restaurant.
Comme ça a fini de déborder ici, là, ça a pris le congélateur là. Ma face ici, continue au congélateur, le frigo ici, le 16, tout ici.
Comme lui, ils sont nombreux dans cette zone du marché de Menganga, dont les commerces ont été consumés. Selon quelques indiscrétions, c'est aux alentours de 23 h qu'il s'est déclenché dans cet espace qui abrite des bâtiments d'un certain âge, construits en majorité en matériaux de fortune, entre autres facteurs qui ont décuplé l'importance des langues de feu.
On est parti me voir, donc dès que j'arrive même, ma part même 6 ans gâté. Parce que ça a commencé depuis là-bas.
Les pertes pour l'heure sont matérielles et se chiffrent à plusieurs millions de nos francs. Plus qu'un incendie criminel, les pistes d'un court-circuit ou d'un feu pas bien éteint sont évoquées en attendant les conclusions de l'enquête de la police.
Toujours dans le registre des faits de société échafourés au marché central de Bafia entre commerçants et autorités municipales 24 heures après la démolition de cet espace marchand par des engins lourds de la mairie. C'est désormais un espace méconnaissable. Bien que la possibilité d'un recasement est offerte aux commerçants, ces derniers demandent ce qu'il adviendra des impôts et autres taxes payées. Monina aussi Esfabaya pour plus de précisions.
Le marché central de Bafia ne restera plus qu'un souvenir pour les populations de la ville. Après des échauffourées d'hier mardi entre vendeurs et autorités municipales, des résolutions ont été prises et le marché central de Bafia, après fermeture, a été complètement détruit sous le regard mécontent de certaines vendeuses.
Après, ils nous prenaient de l'argent, ils nous donnaient un mètre de comptoir, on s'assoit. Quelques temps après, ils viennent nous détruire. Ils nous demandaient d'aller en Djumba. Est-ce que c'est tout le monde qui a les possibilités d'aller en Djumba chaque matin?
Donc même ceux qui font là que les recasements de marché, tu n'as pas un capital de 5 000 francs. Tu as rationné chez toi 1 000 francs, tu ne parviens pas. Comment tu vas louer un compteur même à 10 000 francs?
Parmi les vendeurs délogés, il y en a qui s'étaient déjà acquittés de leurs droits en payant dans leur entièreté leur quittance d'agrément. Et à ce sujet, le maire leur donne des assurances.
sécurité, il y a un apaisement, les populations commencent à comprendre les biens fondés de mes actions qui en fait sont salutaires pour l'amélioration des conditions de leur vie. Donc vous avez compris qu'ils sont en train de se plier et de respecter les prescriptions que j'ai édictées pour le fonctionnement des marchés. J'ai dit aux commerçants qui ont payé contre quittance des comptoirs ou des boutiques que nous procéderons par compensation au niveau du nouveau site. Nous allons procéder par compensation. Il n'y a aucun problème par rapport à cette situation.
Le marché Djumba, en pleine construction, est la nouvelle terre d'accueil de ces vendeurs. Finalement convaincus par les explications de la commune, les tensions ont cédé la place aux réjouissances. Et c'est avec des chants accompagnés des pas de danse que les commerçants et exécutifs communaux de Bafia ont mis un terme à une journée de tension.
Heureux dénouement pour ces commerçants. Les dégâts collatéraux dus à la crise du nozo continuent d'être enregistrés. Les sécessionnistes refont parler d'eux dans le nord-ouest. Ils brillent encore par une attaque terroriste non loin de Bengui, dans le département de la Momo. Le cortège du préfet est tombé dans une embuscade tendue par ces derniers au moyen d'engins explosifs improvisés. Et le bilan, selon le ministre de la Communication, porte-parole du gouvernement, fait état de 5 morts, parmi lesquels le délégué départemental de la communication dans la Momo, 3 blessés et d'importants dégâts matériels. Le chef de la délégation du MINCOM, dans un communiqué, fait état de 2 membres tués de l'armée, de ce groupuscule terroriste et auteur de la mort du soldat du 51e bataillon d'infanterie motorisée qui ralliait la base de Roum dans la Menchoum. Nous y reviendrons dans notre grand format du 19h50. La suite de cette édition bilingue, c'est avec toi, Rédi.
Effectively, Robert Charlie talk, and in the same vein, government spokesperson René Manuel Sadi has decried in very strong terms the killing of at least 5 persons, notably 4 soldiers and 1 civilian, during an attack on the convoy of the senior divisional officer for the Momo division in the northwest region of the country. And it's in the communique that was signed on January the 6th, 2021, René Manuel Sadi equally added many others were injured during the explosion near Mbengui. He extended government's words of condolence to the bereaved families and also announced an investigation has been opened to track down the, quote, armed secessionist terrorists. And in the same vein, the senior divisional officer for Momo Division in the Northwest region of Cameroon has told the people of the Ngia subdivision that the government has several developmental projects installed for them. He was speaking while installing the divisional officer for Andek subdivision shortly before their convoy came under attack on their way back to Bengui. This report with you, Gladys Ambotibang and Annie Collins Annie.
This is the installation ceremony of the new divisional officer for Ngi, Ara Atamangana Maxim, which the Momo senior divisional officer presided over shortly before his motor cart was attacked in Acha village on their way back to Mbengui at about 2 a.m. on Wednesday night. 5 persons died during the attack, including 4 soldiers and the divisional delegate of communication, Rebecca Liwusi Jeme. The enclaved nature of rare areas must have contributed its own quota to the incident.
I seized this opportunity to inform the population of the subdivision that the government has already taken measures for the rehabilitation of this particular stretch of road and the carrying of the stretch of road from the Gendarmerie Andek and the Andek market. But the works were only suspended because of the ongoing socio-political crisis to resume as soon as the situation is stabilized.
Like the 4 other subdivisions of Momo Ngi that used to have about 60,000 man population, today counts a little over half that number for varied reasons.
Most villages of Ngi have joined the Boruros in animal husbandry. Families now own both small and large ruminants of the hills. The sector has, however, been greatly hit by the crisis, with the terrorists having taken away close to 1,000 cattle from the subdivision. The road network in the subdivision is very bad, especially the principal road into the subdivision.
It should be noted that the divisional team had earlier successfully installed the new divisional officer from Jikwa before proceeding to Ngi. The several wounded also include the outgoing divisional officer and the brigade commander from Ngi.
Now, the Vanguard Africa has once more classified the armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon as one of the most underreported conflicts on the globe. In the following report, Kejang Henry Atembe attempts to advance reasons why the Anglophone crisis has received a lot of media blackout. His report.
A recent report by Vanguard Africa says the Anglophone crisis is amongst the most underreported in the world, though slated on the list of the bloodiest crises. Triggered on September 9, 2017, the world was taken by storm when teachers and lawyers went on strike asking for the respect of the common law heritage and the English subsystem of education. When the crisis escalated into arms conflict, those at the forefront were brandished as terrorists, giving the impression of a dangerous breed of people who were out to destabilize Cameroon. The government of Cameroon embarked on a media and diplomatic offensive using all available propaganda arsenals to divert public opinion on the Anglophone crisis. In an attempt to shield global focus and interest on the Anglophone question, the government dispatched its Minister of Communication at the time, Issa Chiroma Bakari, to create a media blackout. Journalists were threatened not to report on the crisis. Any media organ that will report the crisis, however balanced the report will be, was tagged as a sympathizer with the Ambazonian terrorist organization. Amongst other factors that contributed to the underreporting nature of the Anglophone crisis is the terrorism law used by the government. This actually instilled fear within the media circles as the government used the anti-terrorism law enacted in 2014 to suppress criticisms and freedom of speech by arresting journalists and activists in connection with the ongoing crisis. In addition to the media blackout, the government's divisive role has given the impression that the Anglophone question is nothing much to write home about.
Now, the promised hemodialysis machines for patients in Bamenda Northwest region of Cameroon have finally arrived. Now, amongst the anxious persons who were waiting to see these machines that were promised by the Minister of Public Health were dialysis patients, and the director of the regional hospital in Bamenda has equally invited all the dialysis patients who had started going out of the region to seek for help to come back home, given the machines are now here. Morinzi completes that story.
After several days of pressure by patients of the Bamenda Hemodialysis Center, the new machines promised by the Minister of Public Health finally arrived Bamenda on Wednesday afternoon. On hand to receive the consignment of 8 machines, 8 beds, 8,000 liters of saline liquids and other accessories were the regional delegate and the director of the regional hospital, Dr. Denise Same. Fearing for their lives, some patients had already left for other centers.
The patients are entitled to 2 sessions in a week, so I think it's not any worry. After benefiting from a session out of the region, for those who went out of the region, they can freely come back, because the installation of these machines is going to start right away, and in the hours ahead, the days ahead, we're going to continue with the process, because as we speak, we have only 1 machine that is working, so we've had 8 more. The patients are free to come back. We already spoke with them yesterday and continue with their dialysis sessions freely here in Bamenda. And as you all know, it's at a subsidized cost of 5,000 francs per session.
Coming 1 week into the new year, patients hope it should be a new dawn.
Machines we should know from today when they install them, when they will be expired, and then act accordingly. Government does not need to wait for us to go to the street before something should be done. I think better planning requires that there is a forecast, there is what we call amortissement, to know when they will be replaced. from the day they are installed.
Some samples of the new items were displayed to convince curious onlookers.
There has been widespread condemnation following a viral video on the internet depicting a man molesting his own son. According to educationists, counselors, and even parents, there is now need for a law to be enacted in Parliament on the kind of punishment that should be permitted for a parent to give his child. This report with you, Morinzi.
The video has gone viral, provoking widespread condemnation. A father inflicting on his son with what many have described as barbaric and inhumane treatment on a child.
The father himself is very indisciplined. The father is suffering from lack of love, and therefore he finds it very difficult to even love his own son. That's the bottom line. The problem is not with the boy that he's punishing, but the problem is with him.
And whatever he could have done does not deserve that punishment. I'm not sure that's the father of that child. He could be a caretaker. This is called abuse.
Family counselors and educationists, as well as parents, say it is primordial for the law to be passed in Parliament, fining the punishment of a child and sanctions on abusive parents. Family counselors insist the phenomenon of children poorly or badly battered or punished by their parents is gaining grounds in Cameroon. But what will push a parent to go above simply punishing a child, but rather abuses to the point of even death?
A law should be passed in the Parliament for how children should report on things that occur to them at home. That's just what we've seen. Maybe somebody got it on video. We don't know others that happen behind the scene. But
sometimes punishment is an effective tool, but that doesn't mean that good discipline is mostly about punishment. Family counselors are cautioning parents to acknowledge good behavior is the best way to encourage a child to continue it. In other words, catch him being good, compliment the child when he shows the behavior you have been seeking. The case of this parent at Boko village, Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, has raised eyebrows, and parents want him locked up.
Parlons maintenant santé, des équipements de protection individuelle pour les responsables du district de santé de Kondongo à Yaoundé. Le don de la Croix-Rouge camerounaise en partenariat avec celle de France a été offert au chef du district de santé. Le don s'inscrit dans le cadre de la lutte contre la COVID-19 en Afrique. D'autres précisions avec des filles Fonkoutene et Ralungoufo.
Amongst the equipment are rapid test kits and protection items. Handing over the elements to the authorities of the Nkondongo District Hospital, the Cameroon Red Cross reiterates that the fight against the COVID-19 is not yet over. In Cameroon, sensitization must be intensified.
It is very important for us to notice that coronavirus is still there. Our population must be aware, take care must observe the barrier measure.
The district hospital salutes the initiative. A donation, they say, will facilitate the work of their mobile caravan within the community.
We go to our rapid intervention teams. These our teams are the ones that are working in the community, in the household. We are the one detecting, going into enterprises, going to places where people are gathered to conduct the test. So once we are on the site, we will be using this equipment for the personnel of these rapid intervention teams so that they can be protected from the disease and that they should be able to collect samples to send to the reference lab.
Funded by Fondation Total under the coordination of the Cameroon Red Cross and the French Red Cross, the action is in line with the fight against the pandemic in Africa, with the second phase already making waves in other parts of the world.
Hyacinth Chia there reporting, and we stay in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, to talk to you about the installation of the new divisional or senior divisional officer from Fundi by the Central Regional Governor Nasiri Pobie, who has called on the new senior divisional officer to ensure security, to fight against urban disorder and maintain hygiene and sanitation. Barely days to the Chan competition. More in the following report with you, Beatrice Ngamo.
Even nature, the rains joined the population of Fundi Division to greet their new senior divisional officer after almost 5 months of vacancy.
Voici votre préfet.
And this green light by the governor of the Central Region.
Monsieur le préfet Jigden Emmanuel Mariel.
Emmanuel Marie Jigden has thus been commissioned into function as a senior divisional officer from Fundi, Central Region of Cameroon, January the 6th, 2021. The young, dynamic, energetic senior divisional officer has a lot awaiting him as prescribed by Governor Nasiri Pobie.
The thing he has to tackle is the cleanliness of the town and the urban disorder, especially as we are going to enter the African competitions in the few days to come. And secondly, he has to be sure that there is security in the town. And third of it all is for him to make sure that this coronavirus, people wear their masks and respect the barrier measures. You don't enter public offices now in the region without your mask.
The nation's political capital, Yaoundé, needs to be in order. Control of activities of commercial motorbike riders, anarchical construction issues, the new senior divisional officer needs to handle with all tactfulness. Emmanuel Mariel Jigden leaves the Mefuana Famba division in same capacity as SDO from Fundi division following his appointment last December 18, 2020 to replace Jean-Claude Silla, who died last August 12, 2020.
In one of our top stories, we take you out of Cameroon precisely to the United States of America, where it is now official that Joe Biden will become the 46th president of the United States of America. This after the United States Congress has certified him, Joe Biden, and his vice president-elect Kamala Harris victory early on Thursday, ending a long day and night marked by chaos and violence in Washington, where extremist loyal sing that law. Take a listen to the following excerpts.
Today, we witness something dramatic in the United States. A sitting American president attacking what is sacred in America, its democracy. We learned a lesson today. We learned a lesson that democracy is fragile and that the line between democracy and dictatorship is very thin. That democracy only stands when people put their faith in it. Dictatorship stands when people make it stand. We learned a very good lesson that as fragile as democracy is, it takes noble women and men to keep it alive. And today, as the American president, unprecedented, the sitting American president urges on his supporters to take over the capital, the citadel of democracy.
That was Mr. Ari Obenson. He is a U.S.-based lawyer commenting on the attack of the Capitol building. But while it's now official, as the Senate has already certified the result of the American election. Robert Charletok, you have a similar news for us?
Oui, Regina Leke, restons sur cette information qui mène les aigles, les couacs de la démocratie américaine. Les pro-Trump investissent le Capitole au moment où les parlementaires procèdent à la certification des résultats des élections présidentielles. Les forces de l'ordre reculent et la scène tourne vers un RIS inédit dans ce pays qui brille par des leçons de démocratie à travers le monde. Écoutons à cet effet Obenson Harry, avocat international.
Presidents aujourd'hui. Un président qui a incité ses supporters à aller à l'assaut de la démocratie même aux États-Unis. Sans précédent. C'est quelque chose qui est arrivé une fois dans l'histoire de cette organisation, de cet pays. Il y a des siècles. Mais c'est arrivé aujourd'hui. Comment se fait-il qu'un président qui a perdu les élections mobilise ses militants pour attaquer le Congrès américain? C'était une drame. On a honte. Mais on a appris quelque chose. On a appris que la démocratie est fragile. Mais que les hommes, ce n'est que les hommes qui peuvent préserver cette démocratie. Les hommes intègres. Nous avons appris que la démocratie est faible, mais que les institutions qui sont fortes peuvent préserver la démocratie. Nous avons aussi appris que l'autorité doit appuyer sur la loi et non sur l'arbitraire.
Sortons de ce journal avec cette nécrologie. Le promoteur de l'Institut universitaire du Golfe de Guinée, Louis-Marie Djampou, n'est plus. Ce promoteur dans l'enseignement supérieur et même secondaire, ce bâtisseur infatigable a succombé à une courte maladie. Nous reviendrons sur cette information dans nos prochaines éditions. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est avec cette nouvelle triste que nous fermons cette édition de la mi-journée sur Canal International. Nous vous souhaitons de passer un très bel après-midi. Bon après-midi, Regina.
Bon après-midi, Rebel Charlie Talk. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and God bless.